Muya mu opposition, alandile ati I will declare my assets. Lulia twaba votela, nabatumpa no kutumpa elo futi balazanda. When you remind him, he sends the police, and they jail you for cyber security. Nako kabunga, he lied that it will cost 50 kwacha, he is a liar. Ati my kids will not work mu government, his son was employed as a soldier. Neshina ya kufoja, munya uleiwe, chalo chesu, munya uleiwe. Kateka ize dila ni dila wa gold, balashitisha umukuba. Munya uleiwe, chalo chesu, munya uleiwe. President ni dila wa gold, balashitisha umukuba. Kuma court ni ma tribalist, I'm a judge, Balia Luka, I'm a Kadas. Opposition, you jail, ruling party acquitted even when they are corrupt. Zambia police is an extension of UPND. Parliament speaker is a member of ruling party. What type of justice? Where the president is a judge, Nakoku registrar of society. Kuli Mambala who destroys the opposition. It's a tribal cabo. Chalo chesu, munya olewe. Kateka ize dila ni dila wa gold, balashitisha umukuba. Munya olewe, chalo chesu, munya olewe. President ni dila wa gold, balashitisha umukuba. Hey! Kumufumbwe, you killed and chased my youths. Mining ya gold wapasa banabako. They mine ama foreigner secretly and export gold. Z farmer is free. Yuja muntu bana menya nafa. Electoral commission is a tribal kakon. Only Tongas are immune to cyber charges. Pastor Nevers Mumba is a pompe. Pilato na B-Flow ni ma pompe. Yo Maps na JK ni ma pompe. Laura Miti is a pompe. Apa nomba ni new. Chalo chesu, munya uleiwe. Kateka is a dila ni dila wa gold, balashitisha umukuba. Munya uleiwe. Chalo chesu, munya uleiwe. President ni dila wa gold, balashitisha umukuba. Unza students are praise singers, the vibrant Unza is gone. In civil service, you promote on tribal lines. Are you sure, Mr. President, Zambia is better than you found it? Edgar Lungu unga wenze wanzali, petrol yenze 12 kwacha, umufundo wali 400 kwacha. Anti-corruption commission is corrupt. Why do courts only jail members and Easterners? You fight the Catholics and call bishops Lucifers. Apamanje ni new. Munya ule ni new. Munya ule iwe. Chalo chesu. Munya ule iwe. Kateka ize dila ni dila wa gold, balashitisha umukuba. Munya ule iwe. Chalo chesu. Munya ule iwe. President ni dila wa gold, balashitisha umukuba. Mu opposition you oppose cyber security. When Sakana na bill 10, but up a number you brought bill 7. Ama MPs mwabalasa matwimi nyankwacha. Imfumu mwaipela na vaka, shima pepo mwamupela donku. Elo Muzambia na shala pamabwe. With no one to speak for them, I'm activists are political prostitutes. You have destroyed all government institutions. You are corrupt and a tribalist. Why do you insist on viewing Edgar Lungu's body?
Sure, and I'll be candid. It is fake priests like Banda and the Serengeta who escalated the genocide in Rwanda to a level not seen elsewhere in the world. I want to advise Banda and the Serengeta that turning the pulpit into a political podium by way of not preaching the holy word is a devil scheme and a satanic philosophical tactic. Everyone is aware that They are at pains to see HH outliving their expectations in delivering free education, allocating 28 million CDF funds, and employing over 30,000 teachers, as well as recruiting 11,000 health workers, just to mention but a few. Banda is a Lucifer of Zambia who wants to take advantage of the citizens by promoting the PF agenda. Who doesn't know that the PF gassed citizens, promoted bloodshed, divided the country, and subjected citizens to terrorism, stole public funds, and closed media houses, among other evils. And when such evil acts were taking place, the two priests, Sarangeta and Banda, the so-called men of God, remained mute. What a hypocrisy!
It's really, we are learning with shock that a former president in the name of Edgar Chagwaru, who terribly failed to manage the order and the welfare of this country, is busy manipulating himself to have issues of thinking he can come back to this country. Zambians are not docile. Zambians will never be taken back to areas where they cannot access freedom in the market. Zambians will not be taken back to an opportunity whereby even just boarding a bus wearing any party t-shirt was a crime. Zambians will not be taken back where meal allowances at the University of Zambia was scrapped off. Zambians will not be taken back where even just shaking a hand with someone who belongs to another political party, it was a crime. Lungu must watch his steps. Yes. He must watch his steps. I think Lusaka province and other provinces, you've tolerated that idiot for so long. Bring that man to Northwestern where we practice circumcision so that we take him into circumcision. We take him into circumcision. We are not here docile. People, the civil servants, we are not working. Because under the civil service there was a serious division. Ethnicity was not the code of the day. Promotion was just wanted on because you belong to a certain political party on ethnicity. Is that what Lungu thinks he can take us back to? We will circumcise him. Yes. We are appealing to government. If there is opportunity for Lungu to come to Northwestern, please do it quick. Yes. Bring him here. Yeah. Bring him here. So that we teach him a lesson. Yes. And he will remember the time his mother cried when giving birth to him. Yes. We cannot be doing things like cry babies in a country. Who is Lungu? Who does he think he is? Does he want Zambia? Does he want Zambia? Please, we ask Mr. Lungu to consider himself as a statesman or face proper circumcision that he has never witnessed before. He will see us. And to the youths in Lusaka, we are appealing to you colleagues. Yes. Wake up. Wake up. If you don't have money power there, tell us, we come. Yes. As a province, we are very much ready to coordinate and bring the youths there in Lusaka. So that we teach that third lesson. You cannot belong to a party of a behavior and is busy calling himself as a serpent. You can be a serpent, but there are egos in this country. We are able to grab you off from the ground and take you in the high sky. We fight from there. Lungu, wherever you are as you are watching this is Kokera Moses. I understand very well where you want to go. If you want to die from the hands of President Hakainde Hichilema, please spare Hakainde Hichilema not to kill you. Allow us to kill you. Allow us to kill you so that we slaughter you. Thank you so much.
Sure, and I'll be candid. It is fake priests like Banda and the Sarangeta who escalated the genocide in Rwanda to a level not seen elsewhere in the world. I want to advise Banda and the Sarangeta that turning the pulpit into a political podium by way of not preaching the holy word is a devil scheme and a satanic philosophical tactic. Everyone is aware that they are at pains to see HH outliving their expectations in delivering free education, allocating 28 million CDF funds, and employing over 30,000 teachers, as well as recruiting 11,000 health workers, just to mention but a few. Banda is a Lucifer of Zambia who wants to take advantage of the citizens by promoting the PF agenda. Who doesn't know that the PF gassed citizens, promoted bloodshed, divided the country, and subjected citizens to terrorism, stole public funds, and closed media houses, among other evils. And when such evil acts were taking place, the two priests, Sarangeta and Banda, the so-called men of God, remained mute. What a hypocrisy.
Good day and welcome to today's broadcast. Thank you for joining us. Yesterday, we had an emotional broadcast over, the loss of our son, Emmanuel Mwamba Jr. in Canada. And it is important that we all rally around that case. Emmanuel will be transported to Lusaka. I understand next week we'll give you the particular day. He'll be transported to Ndola and he'll be laid to rest in Kitwe Maize. So rest in eternal peace. Such a young, vibrant life. And, we still say our condolences to his dear father, Emmanuel Mwamba Sr., and the spouse, the mother to Emmanuel Mwamba Jr., Walia, and the other kids and the rest of the family in Zambia. Our condolences once again. Today, we take up the hot topic of political prisoners. Clayson Hamasaka, Chief Communications expert at State House, has stated that there are no political prisoners in Zambia. All those that have been jailed due to the process of the law, due to the rule of law, and there's nothing strange about it. The facts were established by courts, and that's why they are in jail. Of course, is merely politicking. Do we have political prisoners in Zambia? Let's lay the case. Why are international bodies, human rights and governance bodies, stating that Zambia has a shrunken democracy? What does that mean? That the executive is controlling parliament, is controlling the judiciary. What do those words mean when international bodies and observers like the Zambia Conference of Catholic Bishops, the Evangelical Fellowship of Zambia, when the Christian Council of Zambia state that democracy has shrunk in Zambia and that there's tyranny and dictatorship at play. And when they say the president is controlling the judiciary, is controlling parliament, is controlling ECZ, what do those words mean? Because Clayson Hamasaka and others think we are speaking from without. What it means is exactly what we are saying. When commentators, governance institutions and human rights record says President Hakainde Hichilema has weaponized law enforcement agencies, what do those words mean? They mean that the president, despite what the rule of law provides, despite what the constitution provides, despite what the law provides, the president has taken over, hijacked those institutions and is using them for his personal ends. That's what it means. Can we trust the arrests that are being done by law enforcement agencies that have been weaponized against political opponents? Of course you cannot. And we've seen it in practice. That is why the Anti-Corruption Commission can issue a formal public statement that they are investigating 5 cabinet ministers. Is it 4 cabinet ministers and 1 provincial minister? And that they can even name 2 permanent secretaries in Tabo Kawana, in PS from Central Province, naming them that they are under investigations. And the president will not suspend these officials. The president refused to suspend Sylvia Masebo, even when the investigations were very advanced and she had even been given a warning and caution. Why did the president not allow the rule of law to take place? So when institutions use broad terms, like the judiciary, is under the control of the executive, parliament is under the control of the executive, law enforcement agencies have been weaponized against political opponents. This is what it means, is that the rule of law is dead. The constitution is being abrogated. One official used a very strong term that President Hakainde Hichilema is raping the Republican Constitution. This is what it means. Because if the rule of law applied, Douglas Siakalima, who said the people of Luapula are mentally, what was the word he used, literally calling them mentally retarded, he would be in jail today. Batuke Imenda, who abused and issued hate speech against the Catholic Church and the foremost leader of the Catholic Church, Dr. Alec Banda, Batuke Imenda will be in prison today if the rule of law applied, as Clayson Amasaka is alleging. If the rule of law applied, the Livingston Mayor, Constance Mleabai, who has been found, who it was established collected the bribe of 180,000 kwacha. But the magistrate used a technical lapse by stating that although the money was released and the mayor received the 180,000 kwacha, the money was not paid to the mayor. The money was paid to the mayor's third party. And therefore, although the mayor received the money, she was therefore not guilty. Foolish judgment. All these are happening because there is no rule of law. And the flip side is true. That what about those convicted? Are they guilty? Let's take the case of Ronald Chitotela and Nixon Chilangwa, who've been jailed together with Kalumba Chifumbe, who was the council chairperson, and the businessman David Kaniki, and the two brothers for Mr. Chitotela, Chabu and Kunda Chitotela. Let's take that case. Before we come to their case, let's remember who was driving the Mahindra, the Jeep Mahindra that was bent because they've been convicted of malicious damage and arson. The people that were driving this Mahindra is Nelson Kalembwe, John Lukwesa, Sande Chola, Ivan Mutono, and Thomas Chafye. Why was their vehicle bent? Is that they were roaming around Kawambwa and they were carrying pangas. These are UPND officials, and they even cut, hacked. I think when we're using a panga, the word is hacked. They hacked several people, including Evans Mulenga and another person. The 5 UPND cadres from Kawambwa who were terrorizing on 12th August the people of Kawambwa. These 5 were jailed by a competent court of law in 2022 by Kawambwa Magistrate Court for hacking and for terrorizing the people of Kawambwa on 12th August when their vehicle was bent. Why was it bent? A mob arose, confronted this vehicle that had injured and damaged and hacked people. And all these facts are established in the case of their conviction. When Nixon Chilangwa and Chitotela were being tried, they invited the court to these facts that another court, Martin Namushe was the presiding magistrate, another court has probed the same facts to the latter. And it will help this court and our case if those facts were imported here. The magistrate refused the court records. He refused those people to come as witnesses. The UPND cadres, like I've mentioned them, were jailed. And the records are there. Let me mention them in case you want to Google them. You can find Nelson Kalembwe, John Lukwesa, Sande Chola, Ivan Mutono, Thomas Chafie. There's even something funny. As soon as they were jailed, there was an appeal immediately, and I think to our knowledge, they've never served, and this case has disappeared. Number two, Nixon and Ronald Chitotela, especially for Nixon, he came across information from a third party that the magistrate, Martin Namushe, was called to Lusaka. And there were recordings to that effect. The recordings of that meeting were made available to Nixon Chilangwa. And the details were very alarming. The magistrate was being told, you convict them. When you convict them, we will promote you and will take you out of Kawambwa. And the magistrate, I think there were some benefits that were given to him other than the promotion that was being promoted. Getting this damning evidence, Nixon Chilangwa took the matter to the Judicial Complaints Commission that the magistrate who is trying my case, we have these records, information, and evidence that our matter is prejudiced, is been directed to convict us, and that is going to be promoted, and gratification has been given to him. Here are the recordings. The JCC never heard that matter. Their lawyers proceeded to confront the magistrate that, Your Honor, this matter you are trying, you should recuse yourself, because here is a complaint that has been taken to the JCC with the evidence that you, Your Honor, you've been directed to convict the accused persons. So you are not working from the law, you are working from external instruction. You are a court of law. You can be directed by any third party. And you should recuse yourself. The magistrate got annoyed, threatened contempt, and the facts as we have stated. First, the magistrate refused the facts that caused that Mahindra to be burnt by a mob of villagers that had risen because these UPND cadres were terrorizing the people of Kawambwa on 12th August 2021. Secondly, when they brought this damning evidence that the magistrate is compromised, the magistrate refused to recuse himself and proceeded to jail Nixon Chilangwa, Ronald Kauma Chitotela, Kalumba Chifumbe, Devi Kaniki, the businessman, and the two brothers for Chitotela, Chabu and Kunda. And sadly, and as expected, he doesn't want these details to emerge. So he refused bail pending application. And you know what happened? Even at High Court in Kabwe, the courts refused to give bail pending application. Even when the weight of the case and the circumstances of their conviction, clearly any competent court can acquit Ronald Chitotela and Nixon Chilangwa. And look at this. I think if I observe the facts, one of them was not even available. I think it's Mr. Chitotela, who was in Pambashe, because remember his constituency is the one next. Kawambwa has, is it 3 constituencies? Mwansabombwe, although I think Mwansabombwe could be a district now. Mwansabombwe, Kawambwa, and Pambashe. And Chitotela was not at the scene. He was in his constituencies. And witnesses came, various witnesses, that confirmed his alibi that he was not present. But they stand jailed 10 years for Nixon Chilangwa. Nixon Chilangwa 60. Let's see. Do I have volume? Hello? Hello?
Sure, and I'll be candid. It is fake priests like Banda and the Serengeta who escalated the genocide in Rwanda to a level not seen elsewhere in the world. I want to advise Banda and the Serengeta that turning the pulpit into a political podium by way of not preaching the holy word is a devil scheme and a satanic philosophical tactic. Everyone is aware that They are at pains to see HH outliving their expectations in delivering free education, allocating 28 million CDF funds, and employing over 30,000 teachers, as well as recruiting 11,000 health workers, just to mention but a few.
Thank you, Mwebantu Wakwalesanga Mulentumina. Quickly, before I open the phone lines, you interrupt our thoughts. I never write a script. I'm not scripted. I come as I come with the facts available. Of course, I deeply research, but I want to deliver them in the natural way. So I don't write script. So when you call before I open the phone lines, I'm afraid that maybe my volume is off, maybe something is not clear, and I panic and take the call. But it disrupts the thought process. So anyway, the summary of it is that Nixon Chilangwa and Ronald Chitotela, Kalumba Chifumbe, Dave Kaniki, and Chabu and Kunda Chitotela are not supposed to be in prison if you had competent courts of law. First of all, they should have been tried by a competent, impartial, and objective law. Number two, the Judicial Complaints Commission must have heard the serious complaints against the magistrate, Martin Namushe. And here is what happened. Exactly what the audio revealed. As soon as Martin Namushe jailed Chilangwa and Ronald Chitotela, he was transferred to Luansha. Again, he was later promoted. When we had the funeral in Chingola, and we went to put to rest one of our Chimbakambwili's brothers. One of them was an Adventist. So I was among the people that went early. Remember, the head of state came to the funeral in Chingola. The former head of state came to the funeral. We're in Chingola. And as I was preparing, because we had two funerals, the brothers to Honorable Kambwili were, one was an Adventist, the other was a Pentecostal and a Pentecostal pastor. But we had that confusion, but in the end we agreed that a joint service would be held. So when I went and I was busy preparing in advance, coordinating with the church, and it was a big funeral, someone whispered to me, "Ambassador, you've been talking about a magistrate who jailed Ronald Chitotela and Nixon Chilangwa, and you've been very insistent that that entire process was unfair. There is a man seated there. He's an Adventist. I think he's an elder in the SDA." I was tempted to go and walk up to him. And I nearly walked up to him and said, "Man of God, we are in church today. Are you okay with what you did?" I was tempted. I was tempted to go and face him and challenge him. He was a well-suited man, properly clean, looking very respectable with a lot of integrity. And he was seated there, and they whispered to me that that's a magistrate that jailed Nixon Chilangwa. And you, Ambassador, have been very public about this process. So I was tempted to walk up to him, because these are ordinary mortals. Beyond the politics, beyond the offices, we are just men. We are just flesh and blood. And I personally was persuaded. I nearly walked up to that Martin Namushe to challenge him. Do you have a conscience? Are you happy with what you did? Even here as we are seated in church, are you happy with what you did? The UPND cadres who were driving the Mahindra, what happened to their case? Why were they given bail? Chilangwa and Chitotela were never given bail pending appeal. These UPND cadres in Kawambwa, Nelson Kalembwe, John Lukwesa, Sande Chola, Ivan Mutona, and Thomas Chafe were promptly convicted, and they got bail pending appeal. And that matter has never come up in the High Court, to my knowledge. Unless you know something, you can type in the comments. So Clayson Amasaka, when we say they are political prisoners, is this selective application of the law. The Livingstone mayor, if despite getting a bribe, you let her go scot-free. Your president has refused to fire Douglas Yakalima for his tribal remarks against the people of Luapula. But you have jailed Raphael Nakachinda, our Secretary General, for his reference. He's Tonga, he comes from Tonga, and he used the Bemba term, You have jailed him. You've said that's hate speech. You've jailed Chimbaka Mbwili, who said this president, when you give him an opportunity, he is going to be tribal. And now people on social media call Chimbaka Mbwili a prophet because of the pervasive and extensive tribal practice by the president. So why did you jail Chimbaka Mbwili and Raphael Nakachinda, but refuse even to fire Douglas Yakalima? You've refused to fire or remove the young lady, the mayor of Kafue, the council chairperson for Kafue. She recently even was involved in the sale of wildlife area, Lusaka, our Lusaka Wildlife Park. She was at the center of parceling out that land. And remember, even one of the members and directors of Larry Mwetwa at the ministry said, the Kafue district gave me these papers. I am not foolish, I'm educated. I can't start building if Kafue district haven't given me the papers. I bought the land, and then the issues unraveled, and the young lady was at the center of that corruption. Clayson Namasaka, have you arrested Wumba Malambo for her corruption? Did you censure her, or did you take action? Did the police arrest her for her tribal remarks when she said we Tongas, if we, and we should vote our own? Did you arrest her? So what should we call Raphael Nakachinda? You tell me that he's in prison because he committed an offense? Let's look at Batuke Imenda and his remarks against the Catholic Church and the Archbishop. Have you ever arrested him? In fact, your DPP, Gilbert Piri, he should be ashamed. I've seen he has sued Lillian Mutambo. He should be ashamed of himself. He should be ashamed of himself. Where have you seen, first of all, where citizens want to prosecute these people for their crimes, and the DPP was the first one to discontinue the cases? First, he showed reluctance to pursue these cases. When citizens, at their own expensive cost, took it upon themselves to pursue Douglas Yakalima and Batuke Imenda, the DPP was the one that was quick to discontinue the cases. What do you call that? The DPP, look at the case of the ECZ chairperson, Bomwangala Zalumis' daughter Mary. Look at the disgraceful conduct of the DPP in this matter. The matter of whether a matter is murder or manslaughter is never a determination of the DPP. Look at all the cases. The DPP must go with his strongest case of murder. A life has been lost and the circumstances. It is up to the court, when the court establishes at trial that the court can reduce the case from murder to manslaughter. The DPP took it upon himself to decide and determine that the facts available before trial, before any witnesses are called. He thinks the facts before his case require that the matter be reduced to manslaughter from murder. Abuse of office. There is no other explanation for that criminal conduct. Because Gilbert Piri is an educated lawyer, probably even well deserved to hold that position. So why would he act outside the law? Because he's abusing the law. When we say institutions have been weaponized against a political opponent, this is what we mean. Marshal Mchende, Solicitor General, piling corrupt cases against him. He still holds the office. He might even be the new Attorney General, because we understand they are fighting and Mulilo Kawesha might be out of the way. he will not be prosecuted despite the overwhelming evidence against him. He will not be arrested. In fact, he'll be promoted. Here is a sensitive matter that I talk about always, of the case of the deputy army commander at the time. He was Major General at the time, Geoffrey Ziele. These are senior people. He heads a very sensitive entity. We are not supposed to discuss him. But they put us in a difficult situation. Here, the SEC have established, the Financial Intelligence Center have established, there is a $300,000 that has come from Kenya. You are procuring equipment for Central Africa hospital equipment through a buyer who you procured and has sent you as chief of staff and, controlling officer, because at the army commander is like the minister, the chief of staff, is like the PS, is the one with controlling powers. And you receive a $300,000. When investigations are advanced and the man is supposed to be arrested, he gets promoted. You can imagine the kids, the young people that were investigating the army commander, both at the Financial Intelligence Center and at the SEC, how they felt. When you go against powerful men and then they get elevated, just look at the fear of the officers that could have been handling these very sensitive matters. So, Clayson Amasaka, when we say they are political prisoners, this is what we mean. You are applying the law selectively. You are saying, no, Joseph Malanji, he can't be a political prisoner. But if the facts around it show that you cannot convict him, he becomes a political prisoner because you've convicted him for purposes of politics, not for purposes of the law. Because if you are not selective, why is Sylvia Masebo still very powerful and a good minister who sits in cabinet every day, despite the evidence and the investigations against her, including whistleblower like the former, managing director general of ZAMSA, who's put it on record how she interfered, how she wanted that $70 million procurement from Egypt. Mwebantu wa Kwalesa, Raphael Nakachinda, Nixon Chilangwa, Ronald Chitotela Kaoma. Let's seek even other cases. Bowman Lusambo. There's never been an audit that has implicated him. He stole no money at Lusaka province. He stole no money when he was Copper Belt minister. You just look at him and the property he has and you term them criminal. And you say they're proceeds of crime. Proceeds of crime from where? Which crime has been committed? You can't establish, but you lock him up. And prior to locking him up, you are the president who kept on saying there is no way a cadre, I would even name them, he would even name Bowman Lusambo. There is no way a party cadre in Bowman Lusambo can have the properties that he has. Which magistrate, after those remarks 3, 4, 5 times by the head of state at a press conference, tell me which magistrate can find facts otherwise? Because the case is highly prejudiced by the head of state himself. Bowman Lusambo, it was just a matter of time. The noose was coming for him. The people that have been imprisoned, no one can safely say it is as a result of the law. When you apply justice, when you pass through the Supreme Court, you see a woman, she has a blindfold and she's carrying the scale of a sword and scale of a sword and sword and scale. Justice is supposed to be blind. Whether it's Sylvia Masebo or Bowman Lusambo, justice should not choose whether it's a former permanent secretary that have been jailed or Tabo Kawana. It doesn't matter how many songs he sings for President Hakainde Hichilema and the UPND. If he has committed an offense and the law enforcement agencies are pursuing him, justice ought to be blind and pursue. It shouldn't choose who is in the way. It should just look for facts and pursue the facts and convict based on the facts. The lines are open. We are discussing selective justice. Last time there were issues around the burial of the late president and a motive issue. If you want to raise it, the lines are also open for you. But let's hear your views.
Lucifer of Zambia, who wants... Sure, and I'll be candid. It is fake priests like Banda and the Serengeta who escalated the genocide in Rwanda to a level not seen elsewhere in the world. I want to advise Banda and the Serengeta that turning the pulpit into a political podium by way of not preaching the holy word is a devil scheme and a satanic philosophical tactic. Everyone is aware that they are at pains to see HH outliving their expectations in delivering free education, allocating 28 million CDF funds, and employing over 30,000 teachers, as well as recruiting 11,000 health workers, just to mention but a few. Banda is a Lucifer of Zambia who wants to take advantage of the citizens by promoting the PF agenda. Who doesn't know that the PF gassed citizens, promoted bloodshed, divided the country, and subjected citizens to terrorism, stole public funds, and closed media houses, among other evils. And when such evil acts were taking place, the two priests, Serengeta and Banda, the so-called men of God, remained mute. What a hypocrisy.
Hello, good evening, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
I'm calling from Lusaka.
Thank you
Lusaka,
very much.
Shorton on the line.
Shorton, make your contributions.
The first thing, sir, I'm proud of you.
I'm grateful.
I'm proud
Thank
of
you.
you. I admire you. I know you're a man of integrity.
Thank you, my dear brother.
My contribution towards what is happening in our government, sir, it's the first thing. It's over the PF. The PF, we have to get organized. We have to unite. We have to unite because, to be honest with you, on the ground, these guys, when we talk about 2026, as long as we organize ourselves, we definitely close. Then secondly, as the nation, I feel most of the people, they don't really understand what's happening as at now. And Zambians, I think, in the other way, I'll say we are weak. Like what just happened recently by this woman, EIZ, how can she say that they won't be stamping on the ballot papers? Over those things, we need to stand in to protest, to say this is nonsense. They behave like people who have never been to school. It's so sad what is happening, sir. And the other thing, most of people, because this Zambia is our country. And over what is happening as at now, background things are very bad, honorable, I'm telling you. So ambassador, if you abantu fe bayikatani mwe fishali bamakebi zulu na mundubiri I think abayikatana abantu abamebi kuchitwa mwane fe tungapangako chitwa crossa ko 2026 but ngabareta lukana abantu babiri aba I think that we win abo panono boss mandini.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks very much. This was my contribution, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Tata Mwamba, good evening.
Good evening.
Ninemu Mbipiri Tata, calling you from Chongwe.
Mkwaimayo mwabomben mwabantu bakwalesa, and we saw you were in Western Province.
Yes, I've just come back from Western Province.
Yes.
We went for ordination.
Yes.
One of my nephews out of the two the caption brother who was ordained as a priest is my husband's young brother's son. So I feel so blessed that we have 2 priests now in the family.
Yes.
The other priest, the head priest at St. Anne's Chipata, and now we have Tembo as a priest. I feel so blessed as a family.
No, it's a blessing.
And
Thank you for their sacrifices.
Yes, and I would like to thank all the people who came from the Eastern Province, especially the priests, our parish priest from Petauke, Father Ozrig, Father Aston Tembo, who is the uncle to the young priests. Otherwise, God is so amazing. I've been prompted to call in, having also been arrested and stayed in prison for 1 year, 2 months, and 8 days. In short, 429, because it wasn't a leap year. That's why I said and a quarter days. Bamwamba inechanja shock sana. Chakupela uyu Maria Zaromes bail at the Magistrate Court. Because you remember me, I was arrested for murder.
Yes.
And they tried that at least the Magistrate Court should hear my case at that level. The DPP refused, and they referred my case to the High Court, that it should be heard at the High Court. And as you rightly said, it was at the High Court where they were supposed to determine my case. Kuria Kukaoma, I was in Kaoma for 3 months. Then I was transferred because in Western Province, the High Court is in Mongo. I found other murder suspects who hadn't appeared on a cause list. And bamwambanga mwaumfwa, they call upon our brothers and sisters from Western Province to help the women. Are you aware statistically that the highest number of women involved in murder is in Western Province? Do you know why it happens like that?
No.
It's because a lot of women balabasienga, but lack of legal representation nga babatwala ku High Court balasumina even when they didn't commit the crime. Because when you don't waste the court's time nga washuka bala ivika manslaughter kadi shina usumina bana mayo ku Western Province bale bakaka, not because they have committed crime, no. Kulibana Kulubantu was the eldest in our prison cell. She was 73 years old. Babekete family 9 through Baraba Karavina.
Yes.
And this woman has been acquitted. Do you know that because they come from a family, she's from Senanga. They haven't even been compensated. So I'm trying to run around so that at least I help this woman and her nephew should be compensated for wrongful detention. Ukwisa mono mwana wabazaromes afumina ku Magistrate Court. Alana Jiba shocked because the magistrate in Kaoma even complained that I should have heard this case. But since there is a certificate to commit you to the High Court, I wish you all the best. So I'm telling you, alalesa wamulinganya bamwamba ndemyeba. Ififile ekitika abalekana sitakwaba ama political prisoners. Eryo bakaba bakasumina, and me I'm praying that doesn't repeat itself. That's why I'm praying to God to give us a leader who fear God and be a leader of justice. Bamwamba, let me not take much of your time, but let me conclude in this way. Can you imagine? There is a woman, and because Nawera Western Province, I've started talking about it. There is a woman, because mu prison muladiama groups I was eating with, she was convicted 35 years for the murder of her husband. Bamuchitana transfer aya ku maximum prison. You know me, I trot kuma prisons, especially whenever ku maximum I go to see them. The last time I was there, she wasn't there. I was told she had gone Kondola Court of Appeal. Ukuya Musanga, I passed through the prison here Kubongo Pasande. I shed tears up to today. I can't eat. Kansholo ya ku Court of Appeal Bamwamba, ba judge ba ku Court of Appeal balanda tumulanduta bawulandire bwino. Bamuchita refer back to Mungu High Court.
For a retrial.
And I was expecting, since it's a retrial, this woman should have been the first priority to be put on the cause list. Apande Mieva, up to today, she's not on a cause list. But umwana wabaza Romes, uyo moving free. Nangu umwana wabakaunda kabarake went through the due process of the law. Inenga mware umfa when I was in prison. President Akainde Ichilema used to talk about me.
Yes.
He never said I pulled the trigger. He was saying I was watching, I was there. No mboa aliko alechitana recording umwana wamunoba alepunda mwebantu fyakalipa nkakulule diko omwaisa vika manslaughter. Alaleso kwaba lesa wamulinganya. Those of us who pray in truth, I'm telling you, fika monekesi. Or fika la moneka, ababa lechita wrong things, even if they are not on earth. Kuba nababo, abe shkuru beabo, na ma grandchildren. That's the sad part. And as I conclude finally, Naria totera sa nabaditunga. When we went to visit him, and it looked very quiet. I thanked the people of Balotse because of the way they looked after me. And I even told him I've been healed from diabetes. From the prison here, me now I call it the University of Mongo Prison. I'm a graduate. That's what Vachitimukuru said.
Yeah, diabetes here. You had a very, very bad case of diabetes.
The last time when I was admitted in Lewanika Hospital, and I was almost transferred to Lusaka. Ero baishire ipima ofo ya abuela up to today.
Wow.
I have my sisters who are medical doctors.
Yes.
I have my own son who is a medical doctor. He can't explain Alanje, but Mom, we can't explain.
No, you had a very bad case of diabetes. Everyone knew.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, Ripola.
Wow. We thank
And
God.
Mwamba, in whatever situation we go through, naimobe no koko mudi. The sad issue that you are able to handle that. And And out of whatever situation we are going through, we shouldn't only look at the negatives. My testimony of my diabetes being gone is a positive out of a very bad situation. Bimbi ababula kuntwala kumongu inoshita nokuwanga dadifwa. You know my diabetes yourself.
Yes, no, it was terrible. Yes. No, Mario, thank you
so
very much. Thank you very much. We've just received information that the president has fired 2 cabinet ministers in Elijah Muchima and the Minister of Small and Medium Enterprises, Elias Mubanga. The president has fired these 2 ministers with immediate effect. But if you Tulanda, ngaba bambi obalechita investigate by ACC. Muchimo yomwatamfia, but we don't see the same resoluteness with other people. The lines are open. Elijah Mchima and Elias Mubanga have been fired by the president. Thank you. The lines are open. Please call. We are discussing the issue of political prisoners, and I have demonstrated why I think we have political prisoners in our country because of the selective nature of applying the law in our country. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Yes, my dear sister. Yes, thank you. Make your contributions.
Okay. Mwamba. If you come Zambia, nothing capture. Na unaita kwendo wakankamana ba Mwamba. Uwa kwa tuwaini ninachibushe. Ni mchalo cha Zambia nangu ni kumbi. Apa ishirapo fie ukuteko wa UPND. Eko pitana mumbali. Ichalo cha liko kwa tijatubuka. Mwamba okutampa from the word goal bale pitana abantu mukuchita campaign bale lando kutira bakakonke fintu bwino abantu batino kuti tukekala bwino tukopwa tukachita chinshi kulande bitundu yonse nabali amkuvota baile na magaoni Mwamba balitola omupamba ukulu bantu Mwamba okuisa ingila nombo kutampa okukaka nabo okubakaka no wali no shaliko.
Yeah. No, the facts are very clear.
Hello?
The facts are very clear.
Tabariko bonse bajana bachirangwa bonse baja abantu bayayikala mu maseozu balya. Chachi ne nomba mwone fo bayikala bonse abalechite firibo fyako batifire mwone kamwa mfono kumfuatia makontena yama miti yaya. Yachitashani yasa but bamufunya ko bamuseko omuntu bamutwala oko no kitapona nguchimu mushani sifisi twala tera ko mchalo cha Zambia ngefu bafuma mukulanda bamawe bamumbipiri uyu mwana bayisize bazalombe fifine bachitire alepo omuntu ulo mwana Inoki simfukwe aleranda no kulanda ati blood aleko kwenda inenshire umfwa bachikwena ko hali babantu ababa ivo mchalo. That woman, she's evil with her boyfriend. Bariba evil bakachita safa bariba kesti bari abantu barabe muna turo mulopa wasumine paja ala alomwana okufokwa inkoko aho tapari bakasanga pomtendero bonse bale irishanye sondero nse balanda kuri kijya kintu ichachitika bena balenda free bayakopwa na ma uniform na ma t-shirt ya ICZ kwati bahitemo kwati Zambia yabo. Bati kwena mwele sawo le salo umfwa ukulira kwesu le sale umfwa ifisi netulendira le sale umfwa ishishi belo bakwete ishishi belo ikwete bagipinga nilo yakuisanga li buku lyakuisa tatuishi beba Mwamba tantu umuntu leendera felomba Muzambia letina fyati mushikanshishire chitika that's why ba Mwamba kule buku lilira timu ba opposition ikataneni ni problemu nximukwete luvulenyi kwa bantu lumbelo vale vafe navo vayafe katuishinga kavundulanga nichishinga nichishi chichitike uyo fyaleti ayalaenda mu bantu ninevo chiteni fyayaya kuchilila bombo aya kumansalela ndafye ifyakuhekafye aho mwandili vamwamba tatiweme muzambi ule mulafe zambi epo ileendela zambi otaileendela pasuma abana besu bakachula nga tatukosapo vamwambelo lesale mpala pako bacha abantu balefunya amavoice balelanda balondolola baba bantu bemuna chinachiwamecho balechita tachiwamela panono na bill 7 yabo idilimitation yabo awo mayo tata kutuwatola mumupamba shiwafye mwandili.
Thank you, Mario.
Esa
Thank you.
wako Abraham na Daniel eukapushusha fyabana.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Other than that, the Minister of Health has been fired with his counterpart at smaller medium enterprises. I've got some news here. Our political comedians, just a minute, I want to get their names. We know them as Vanene. The police this today picked a duo called Vanene and detained them. Steve Mukuka Kabuswe and Richard Kaunda Mulenga, popularly known as Vanene. You've seen them. They make political videos. They've been arrested and are detained at Chilenje. And these are some of the cleanest. They don't issue vulgar language. They are not defamatory in their comedy. They make comments, of course, very strong comments, but they never use, I don't know why they've been arrested by the police, but they are detained at Chilenje police station. Selective justice. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Ndita Mwabombeni.
I will remain anonymous.
Anonymous, make your contributions.
And if justice is real justice, look at the case in the Livingstone Mayor case. It's very clear and open that there is no law in Zambia currently. It only favors those who are with Hakainde Hichilema. But that being said, the president won't be president for life. And my earnest appeal, if he loses power, he has to be accountable for the atrocities, because he's at the helm of this country and he's watching justice being washed down like water. We can't afford to have a nation run like a kangaroo court. The whole entire system is bizarre. We can't even describe it in any way. We've got no direction as a nation, Bamwamba. Look at your case. You are out of this nation not because of anything. Because if it was otherwise, Bamwamba inoshanga bali mkaka. Kulanda fitishinga inoshanga bali mkaka. Not with real justice, but the selective justice system. The entire people like when Munia Zulu, look at Nakachinda, Bachitotela, Bowman Busango. The list goes on and on, but the guy is Masewu. We can't explain where this country is going to, Ramwamba. If we don't stand up and stop this man, we are in for a big hole as a nation. If we don't stand up as Zambians and stop this person, leadership is not about, you cannot lead a nation that is divided. And that's the best thing the only justice this man has done to this country is to divide the nation. That's the only class I can give him. And wherever he's going to go, there is no country that is led which is divided. Truth be told, you cannot run a nation that is divided. No matter how intelligent one is, the first thing first, you would have united the nation. Look at the division he has sown. Pachiro Chava Etika. Mwanfuati National Day of Prayers, the same guy who learned that Ali Pepera Palilungu family, yet we are carrying an autopsy. That's divisive way of leadership, and it doesn't work out that way.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. You can comment on the topic we are discussing of selective justice in the country. That has made the others that have been jailed as political prisoners. State House is arguing that there are no political prisoners, but we've just demonstrated that indeed they are political prisoners because international reports have established that the shrinking democracy and that the executive control the judiciary and parliament and other key democratic institutions and law enforcement agencies have been weaponized against political opponents. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Bachitonge endita London pomkwai.
Awe atotela sana. Mwamba ififiletika afiweme muchalo chesu cha Zambia. Efira Bible ituwe ko bati ntungurusha ibinga yateka abantu barateta muchalo. Mwishibo kuti ififiletika tafiri simple. Ngabakatwalira ba UPND mu 2026. Mwishi baituli under case. Bantu icyarofo cyaba kifaika cyateka twarifuma kare mu busha. Bati ubusha nde muna muri ba UPND wakuyitemwa no kufoka kabambi beno kora mureka ngabantu ababaholi. Ipa mulandire fikishe lembo kwe bacha abantu bakababa yitemwa lero kupata banabo. So abantu abaokusinga turebe abamundu bikuche uyu muntu muleru anayena muntu wakwe bati mwalamu ina physically indalama tete bamukwanishe spiritually tete bamukwanishe. So bintu vyakupepera pono kuishibo kwendera pamwe no kubombera muri unity. Ivi vile tikaba politician tukwete niba rabatemwe indalama eba batemwa abantu abako bati bakabombera abantu uyo mutuma mwako ataba Mwamba ngacha mwalimu mu Zambia nango balungu ngatemfwa ngachali bwino omufya cyali kwetendalama but asalirepo ukuchulira abantu alekera ko buno nshino obutinda bikukira tekinde echulira cyama nchulire pamwe n'abana kaine ekyalo nomba ebako bapulisha ntukwete aba nibarabatemwe indalama. And if you're there, Mona, in a forward paper, no peperaco, today, Monafiati Munisho Kwanga. By our president, Church Pantu for a group yabo. They think to Fiaco support at Kingdom Yakos and Anglo Chasakram out. Who let's take a muffin Satana. One for one.
Emquire.
If you're safe, if you want to go to South Africa, Rabushumata, go to the Varela Post, Monte, Wambu, Kula Paulo Mutua, take it, Charambu, Nepal, watching Kavora. Joseph ya kulanga kwa ubifi waba muntu ngurushecho tutekwa nasho baraba batamfya barano kubatamfya barabene bantu bena balesekerera pabubi sansa mbuno kubatamfya bantu bena balesekerera mu bubi. So ifo batwerira kubana katinda beke bakulande kishinga baba kaka bati kuja balelo fya magoji tukwa twa magoji ayali pena yo ni ko padishani baba ko bana nkale wesu kuno kuchira bomba padishonse fira tafiri banga sense kuri bayiche. So for turera ndukira ababantu beno nga mulalanda kuna abantu bamulekeri bakwati amano yakwalesa tuntu ayakulenga abantu kulira kwa abantu panto bonde mfwa baletu mabonsa balerira ko Zambia bambya balerira teko bati bapina apanga tulenda abantu baba bakalipa walasanga cha abantu baba bakalipa wepushe ko yaba fya bakalipa lero balowa ebale support UPND bantu bali balowa bacha abantu abatuntu tete ba support obutunguluso bulipo. Inecho ningalanda kofita ko batido tulepe papa fule twakwata ntungusha bakwata manu ngafyatire bakwete ba keke twakwata ba banani abafyashwe suba chiruba twakwata abafyashwe suba chiba mwana wasa twakwata abafyashwe suba bali po bayitika chakarungu bashe chuma tachabe chanko bafuira napo kufaya kuti abazambia babe bwino bati bali shibati mungu ata condition ishiri bwino bati basara pokufu then baba bika mountain for 8 months nomba kuti wate manga bafyashwe byonse fira fireranga byati ichi tulete kwa muri kino cha tulete kwa n'imfingi so tuwishe na maka yose tatukwete no mwenso kai turerangira busho kuti tatukwete no mwenso bantu ifire kikamwisa mbali akasuba muno mucharo chesu cha Zambia chabo kwa to mutenjo itwale fire umutende barwire bakeke wapelere fyo kutayi bayichechi baona ura byose fira so ichire fire kabantu beka tari bamundu bire bemunati bayichechi kuti baba wina beka bama kebizuru bemuna ko chiti baba wina beka tane chapamo no kufaya no tukutukirenda abana mu position katukutukira position. Position.
Thank you. Thank
Mambo
you.
mama.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Even ko wonse fya baba twafirishe kuna tote.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
First and foremost, I want to say thank you to you and your program. I was just reading the news that the former minister now of health has been fired. This is a man that you were criticized, you were called names, it was fake news, was what? But this is aside. This is a man, we have not followed his track quite well, but we also see the time that he was brought to the Ministry of Health, there was a lot of issues with the Minister of Health then, Suva Masebo. But Suva Masebo is still serving. She's still serving as a cabinet minister. And my question is, where is the accountability of the president, the one who's preaching that he's fighting corruption? I'm on the record, Ambassador, that there was a permanent secretary at the Ministry of Health, if maybe two of them, with allegations that also some of money were misused, and none of those people appearing before the court. And this is so saddening, and now you hear that the Minister of Health and whoever has been fired, but they may not be charged of any corruption charges, even when there's evidence enough that these people, they should be prosecuted. So, speaking about opposition, through this platform, I'm urging all these opposition leaders to come together and harmonize the situation, because this is a call of the Zambian people today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Today we are discussing the case of political prisoners, and you can call, you can make your call. We hear your views. If you look at the cases of Munia Zulu, Maureen Mabonga, you can clearly see that this is selective prosecution, because the similar people that are accused of having said the same thing have never been prosecuted. Douglas Yakalima, Batuke Imenda, but Munia Zulu and Maureen Mabonga have been prosecuted. It's this selective approach to the law that is of big concern to all of us. And the lines are open. You are calling, please call. We hear from you. There's news that the Minister of Health and the Minister of Small and Medium Enterprises have been fired. Okay, the lines are open. Please call. Let's hear from you. Let's hear your concerns. We are discussing the case of political prisoners and the selective nature of how the law is being applied. It's not being applied fairly. And we are inviting your comments. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Hello, caller. Oh, the caller's gone mute. Please call back. I know the network is terrible in Zambia. You can call and make your contributions. We are discussing the cases of selective justice and the political prisoners that are in our country. State House says there are no political prisoners in Zambia. The people have been put through judicial process, and State House insists that the people that have been jailed justifiably so, because they've been put through the court process. But we've just been demonstrating that this process is selective. It's not applied across in accordance with the law. the Minister of Justice, the Minister of Health, and the Minister of Small and Medium Enterprises have just been fired. If you want to comment about that, you can comment. Our concern is that, what about the previous minister who was implicated and investigated by the SEC? Why didn't the president fire him? What has Elijah Mchima done, which Sylvia Masebo didn't do? Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Mwamba, and a good greeting and a happy evening to all Zambians listening to this hottest podcast on the land.
Thank you very much, my brother. Make your contributions.
Mwamba, mine is an appeal.
Yes.
I would love to appeal to Zambians. You know, Zambians have got a tendency of allowing a person to be fooling them like I don't understand. First thing that I want to look at is the current thing of delimitation. A lot of people were fooled on delimitation. Today they are crying. Constituencies on the Copper Belt, on Northern Province, and other provinces. And it is alleged that more constituencies will come from the strongholds of UPND. And on the issue of Wamuchima and the selective justice, it is a well-known thing. These people are tribalists. They are tribalists and they are selective in whatever that they are doing. KK told us we don't even have to waste much of our energy. KK told us, out of his experience in 27 years of governing this country, to see that this man is going to divide this country. Because of what? Because of the way KK understood politics. This man, from the word go, he was appointed on a tribal point of view. He was saying only a Tonga will become a UPND government. And this is what is happening. Only Elias Mwamba and the Mchimas can be fired from UPND. Those that are typical, the people who are involved in a lot of scandals like the Livingstone mayor, with a audio that even me, a grade 4, can hear and say, no, this is corruption here. And these people are walking free. Only innocent people, like the children for Edgar Chagwalungu, they've got a value of assets up to 21 million, while the advisor to the father gave the children a value of 41 million, and those for the advisor are working freely today. And the assets are intact, but the boss to the advisor's son he's been confiscated those properties. I don't see any sense from that, because that man is what? He's Tonga. Only when you are Tonga in Zambia, you have immunity. We hear that there are so many mines in Southern Province, though I cannot confirm. But those that are doing gold mining in Southern Province are not facing harassment and this extermination and the fumigating and this what is happening around. This man is just here to divide this country, and this delimitation is going to divide this country more than you ever thought. Imagine what he's planning. His plan is to get 50 constituents from his strongholds. Tell the people that this man is malicious, this man is dangerous, and we don't need him.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you very much. Let's allow other callers. Thank you for your views. I think his views are very clear. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Thank you, Ambassador Mwamba. Sinyangwe Dani on the call. Ambassador Mwamba, thank you for this podcast. It's because of you people can air out their voices and then they can speak out.
Thank you, Mr. Sinyangwe. Thank you very much. And thank you for connecting me to Pastor Abel Mwans. I'm grateful. We discussed here openly and you were so efficient. You gave me a number and I'm gracious to Pastor Abel Mwans. I immediately responded that we can have it, Ambassador, as soon as you are ready and you saw the emotional podcast we had yesterday. Thank you, Mr. Dan. Thank you very much.
No, thank you, Ambassador Mwamba. I'll thank you for the time that you took to have Pastor Ibom wants to speak to us. Mwamba, it's not every day that we talk about politics, but what you did yesterday, it shows the type of person you are. You're a person who's on the ground. You're a person who just don't pick on people because of their political affiliation. May God continue blessing you, Mwamba. Yesterday, just to give that audience to Abel, it's something that most of us were able to connect with him and were able to listen his story. God bless you, Mwamba, for that job.
Thank
I
you very
appreciate
much.
you for that.
Thank you.
I'll just say one thing, Mwamba. Our country is on that crossroad, and this crossroad is only about us, the people of Zambia, to make it right where we are supposed to go. All what is happening is the government is trying to divert issues from the real thing. They know they have not done anything for Zambians. I was laughing yesterday when the minister, one person says we have ended load shedding. And many people, Zambians are going to buy that. Zambians, wake up. Someone who has failed to give you anything in the 5 years that he's been promising you to give you something cannot give you in the last year. If I'll ask you, Mwamba, do we know what happened to the 80,000? Is it 80,000 US dollars or million that was given from the Zesco account and it went to the Chinese account? Nothing. Do we know who was behind that that businessman from Taiwan who wanted to buy massive land in Wapula province? We don't know. Do we know where the minerals that were missing, the sugilite that went missing, do we know who was behind it? We don't know. The gold mine scandal, the biggest mine scandal in Zambia, do we know who's behind it? And then these guys will come to us to think that if we Kwatamano. Zambians, let's wake up. E-government, they have no heart or they don't care for us. Our opposition, if you know that you are in opposition, but our support, stop wasting Zambian people's time. We want people that are going to unite us and that are going to take us to the promised land. Thank you, Mwamba. God bless Zambia and God bless everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Today we are discussing the case of political prisoners and selective justice. When you belong to the opposition, the full weight of the law will be applied to you. When you belong to the ruling party, no harm will come to you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening, Honorable Mwamba, Ambassador Mwamba, Daniel from Cape Town.
Daniel, make your contributions.
Thank you. My contribution is about the political prisoners that we have in Zambia now. To me, I solely blame mostly on the opposition, especially the powerful PA. I've seen that the concentration now is more on presidential aspiration than any other thing. Like, for example, the corruption that is happening in UPND, the Mingarato Electoral Commission, and other things that are happening. The opposition is focused more on aspiring to be president than looking on other issues that can help us defeat the UPND. Let's say, for example, UPND, they've put a scheme where the electoral commission navakwata abantu, police navakwata abantu, every other way, or like the way they are marketing themselves, that whether they are my investors, you see they've got a plan for them to defeat the opposition. But our opposition, you just hear this one wants to be president. I'm happy that Ambassador Mwamba, you've got this program which you are educating, or we are sharing ideas on how to defeat the UPND. More on your part, we've got a way. So we need other people to say, these political prisoners, how are we going to help them? Like, I remember when the late president, ECO, was alive, people that were taken to court, we saw solidarity But when he was arrested, the lawyers were sent there. Many other people, it was done like that. But this time, you hear no one talk about Munia Zulu. You hear no one talk about this lady you mentioned that is in prison. But no one talks about it. Why can't we have some people dedicated specifically for the people in prison? If we need to match by UPND Tabaka Fumepo Fumukulande going on social media thinking we are campaigning, UPND now needs strong Zambians who can go to the streets, whether they is cyber or Mwavamo prison. Maybe they can listen, but this thing of just talking to say, oh, he has done this, we are seeing things passing and die out soon like nothing has happened. He's winning issues. Nae nama delimitation yakapita. We will start saying no, a stronghold, never saying that what, and you win the election. It's now, Africa, it's survival now. It's fighting them the way they is supposed to be. If you counter-attack in a way that they will feed it up, but they don't feel anything. Then coming to the ministers that have been fired, I've known Elias Mwanga personally. I worked with him in Kitwe. That man is a powerful man concerning campaigning and everything. I'm sure there is something that has gone wrong. And winning that man in opposition can be a great deal, but I know Cyber won't let him go. If he makes any mistake, he's also going to prison. So, Ambassador Mwamba, on your part, I think you've put the people of Zambia first in bringing this program, listening to the people. I know you are aspiring as president, but you don't show that ambition more than what you are doing with the people of Zambia, bringing the news first, educating them about things that are happening. It means you care for the people of Zambia. So let's have other people do the same thing. Work on the other side. We've got this podcast. Let's find some other things we can do to shut down the UPND. Thank you very much, Ambassador Mwamba.
Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from. And shut the other device. Endita mwabombe mwantu wakwalisa nimwe bani. Bachanda, make your contribution. Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Livingstone.
Okay, make your contribution.
I want to draw your attention to these two cases, eh? The case here, manslaughter. Whatever sister is, in a broad daylight. The matter was reduced from murder to manslaughter. The case here, Mao Sampa. Here, lying against the ECZ Commission. Munira case, umuntu waipe omuntu. Bampera bail, pending appeal, bampera bail ya 20,000 kwacha. Then umuntu alandire fieshiwi, ili akwewa he was even compelled to apologize. And umuntu achita apologize. Later on, mulandu wa utola koti, umuntu waikata noksa mpera, nankane ya 1 million. So when we talk of selection in the application of justice, umuntu fe wonso kwete fi amenso na mano, tuamana there is a problem. 20,000 kwacha na 1 million kwacha. Umuntu naipai omuntu nama picture na muna naipai omuntu. No umuntu fe umoyo wakwebati apanga pe mistake mukulanda achitana apologize kwati no abampere information tabachite verify, and for that I apologize. Mampera nankane ya 1 million. Nomba ichalonga chabaso ababanenza basambira ko barando kwebati whoever comes to equity must always come with clean hands. Nomba ngwamona equity aperi kwise takuri equity manje charo chashani chakwebati kuri abantu bama bakwebati nabakwatana ngo ku nabakwata VIP treatment. Nabaraba kwebati ku court they have been kept like quite feni ba koso kwati ni ba push. I can tell you, Mwamba, our people have been mistreated in prisons. They have been mistreated. varabachitashani but nga tiri kunze turepunda kuti rule of law inyewo ava vantu varireta peace manje ipeace yashani yo vareta ifota twamwena iyo muzambia tamwari peace muzambia mwari kwenkondo vamwamba inste chochere nayo iyi niste yako ikachanya niste yako pakuriresa tatwafinishe vantu fiparwesu ndio muna kwati tatwakwanishe natetera sana vamwamba.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for those remarks. Please call to get your views on selective justice. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Yes, caller. You are on. Hello, caller. Yes. Yes, my dear brother. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contributions.
Yes, I would rather be anonymous.
Thank you, anonymous.
Looking at how the country is being governed, I can say but it is just the government for the Tongas. And we are not happy about it. It's three characteristics. To appreciate example ya itafuchwe mpara. Vamwambandemye tukaiponona wakeka tupe kumaelekte tukaiponona.
Use proper language, my dear brother. Use proper language.
Yes, okay, we are very bitter. Sorry for that language. What I can say, there is no justice. Mr. Mwamba, are you aware how much the government sends money to Tier 1? Mwamba, are you aware how much government spends to other people who are destroying our country? Mwamba, are you aware how people are suffering with innocent people? Bamunia Zulu, are you aware? Bamambapon demiropai, demikonkomesha. Imwe nkuro shares, mwari kuntan shares, mwakwet access. Gata mwa ton kanye. Bambapatwa tura next year. Bamba please, de kunkura pamakasa, tuafweni. Ikachanyeni, wonsawena makepi Zulu. Wonsawena mundubire. Ikachanyeni mwe bantu, tuarachura. Nishi mletontonkanya mwana mfu barechusha varusambo nishi varufyani. And what are you thinking about that? Are you aware about who is this party secretary general Resu Balapio Nakachinda? Look at and where is the international community? Where is the human right? But baba puisa bajana vena. Are you aware that one of Trump after I discovered God? Are you aware that Papa Serenje Nombalina, my Chinese body was place ukuri God? Are you aware about that, Mwamba? Paserenja Pape. All these things that are happening, nobody couldn't are you aware when Tonga speaks, is not being arrested, Mwamba? But when a Pemba speaks about tribalism or remarks, he will be arrested. Where is the human right? Where is the international community? We are suffering, Mwamba. Please, ikachanya in our camp, ikachanya you people. Some political gurus, and I am so grateful. May God protect you, Mwamba. May God protect you. You are doing a great job. But use this channel. I would love you, Mr. Mwamba. Okukwata kwe platform ngoni mairo. Ite niwa munduire. Ite niwa given winda. Okay, you know, no one is there to cause the wind of change. As people, we are serious. But you people, you are not serious. Chile tukaripa. Do something, Mwamba.
Thank you, my brother.
Crying.
Thank
Because
you.
Is it only for the Tongas? There is even an article to say only Tongas only a Tonga can be a UPNG president. Are you aware about all those things?
Thank you, my dear brother. Thank you for your contributions. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Mwamba Bombeni.
Endita yama Mwabombeni.
Yole sa walusemwa. Ba Mwamba. Idiga shimwaleta ya selective of justice. Ine na miufila fiolusewa Mwamba. Pantu techintwi icheni chikaya sana Mzambia ichi. Na lami pela kofi. Ama example ya nono fie. Today na tukwata lafe o mangani na kachinda. Arimul prison. Necha muletelela. Dictionary abapakatiri abumangani. Ngeshu bambi balandilepo. Kuli wa economic advisor wabalungu bamwinga. Bakwete amakesa engi. Nempendwa kweba tinaba kwatenda lama proceed of crime nama cases over close to almost 41 million. Idialandi ya kuchawama. Butakwa wosha ishibe kweba tiali ya balungu. Pali na kakapa kina fiance basta developed filling station. Pantini balungu. It's a proceed of crime. Ine ndamitasha sana ba Mwamba no mutima mwakwata n'ekikuku kuleto kweba tama Zambia ni beshibe. Bengi abantu ali mu fifungo mulandu wa mashina. Kamulebu kushauro mulumendo wala ndilete ba Edgar Lungu baleteni kuno ku Northwest no to stop plakatis ka samsigen tukese baputula. Abo balabonse bangeli. Finge for twindalanda if you abantu bale ichula mu fifungo bachilangwa abo mune bachilangwa chile matwila pita mumbali ngaba bachilangwa kuti bakwata shani amaka ya kushita ko front kuti boche na motoka yo pantu bachilangwa bafuma kulwapula rona dichitotela kaoma wakulwapula even na uya jo malanji mu fimbira fyukwe bati nibaka nonga ebo jo malanji uya yumo nomba ifyonse fi ngisho mulila ndaba Mwamba amazambia ni besula amenso ichichalo echi twaikala fengaba naimo abantu 73 tribes twaupana nokwikala bamo elo omuntu umo alefo kutupatula mulandu wako ite mwafye kufwafye kuti ekale muchipuna ba Mwamba ne ini wale ba limitation na chila umfwa chavi efya chilala nda kumansa bale mwebo kweba na nguste submit decision bali panga kale ichikala abantu bale lombako na kulimwe ba Mwamba ni ababa nenso bayitungire kweba tibale foku imina ngo kube ntungushi ya chalo shwa bena titomone fechi mono atama Zambia ni bale elila bale fo abeka tane pamo takwa abantu abaite mwangeshi tungurushi tukwete all these political leaders ba Mwamba they are so greedy no mwamona uli wonse uyu alelanda pamunankwe uyu alelanda pamunankwe uyu alelanda pamunankwe ama Zambia ni bae show kulila imwe bantu ikaleni pamo lubule ni chalo awe ni bankomya amatwi katwishi ba Mwamba mwarashi tashani kuti abantu beshibe efyo abantu bena Zambia balelila mwene abantu fyo baba kaka mwene ba mumbipiri fyo baba sungire kula kumongo fishi balu fyenye atiyo pantu waleta amba kofi ba Mwamba ichichalo echi lekena mazambia ni besu li amenso na amatwi amenso tumuni na amatwi elo chimbe chonde milomba ko ba Mwamba echo mubutuishe echo mufile mwaleta lyashiri aba Edgar Lungu ili a postmortem tulefu amudu stay educate for Mazambian aba file ba sta Simon or to request postmortem ushe bantu fe bambi nangolopwa.
We've lost our brother, but his comments are very, very clear. I'll follow up with the answers. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
Thank you. This is Alfred Yomwe from Lusaka.
My dear brother, make your contributions.
Okay, I've got two things to comment on selective justice and the issue of non-salance, if you allow me.
That's okay.
And the opposition overall. Okay. What is happening concerning the selective justice we are witnessing in our country, it's a deliberate move, in the sense that this is a well-followed script of Mr. Kainde Hichilema and his colleagues from the corporate world. Okay? The Zambian people, there were red flags about this leader we have now in Mr. Kainde Hichilema. Okay? This is a political party where they were having a secret meeting or secret meetings. Okay, of the certain people, certain groupings, were having secret meetings, excluding others. Those were red flags. What were they discussing in such meetings? This is what we are witnessing now. It was for the sole purpose of holding on to power for as long as they wish. This small grouping of people, these are the results we are seeing. You think these appointments, they are deliberate. He's appointing people who are capable of following his script of holding on to power at any cost. Hakainde Hichilema, if given a chance, he's not going to serve for 2 terms only. He's going to change the law so that he can stand as many times as he wishes. So this is a well-written script and well-executed script. You know, Hakainde is not stupid, though his moves are well known. You can tell that the next thing the UPND government will do is this. These arrests, we knew about them, that it's going to happen because they are very easy to read them. Their next course of action. It's very easy to read the Hakainde Hichilema administration and their political maneuvers. It's very easy to read them, but they have installed fear in many Zambians. That's why Apama anonymous, I want to remain anonymous. It's fear. He has installed fear in many Zambians. That's why they are not speaking. They are scared. So this is a well-written script. The best way we can do is to unite as Zambians and vote him out before he completely destroys us. On our opposition, the Tonsa Alliance, you know, I've been so quiet trying to study what is happening. But I'm asking myself a lot of questions. Who is Christopher Nzimba? Whose interest is Christopher Nzimba serving? What kind of a political graduate is he? In this situation we are in, we don't have a normal government, a democratic government. What we have is a dictator. And now you want to use the divide and rule on opposition. Honestly, however, who's Christopher Nzimba? Whose interest is he serving? And those who are following him. Why are you following a man who has never been a politician? And you have even given him the position of an SG? Why are we joking? Why are we playing so softly like everything is normal? Even if we lose, it's okay. We have got a normal government, they can continue. No, that's not the case. What we have is the leader who is evil. He's not bad, but he's evil. With a well-written script of holding on to power. And he has recruited people who can execute this script very well. And now you as Chris Manzimba, Dr. Chris Manzimba, whatever you call yourself, who have studied political science, you want to deploy or employ the divide and rule philosophy in a fragile position, honestly. Let's get serious. The best we can do as Zambians, let's not follow Honorable Brian Mundubile and Griezmann Zim and the Dunamis. Let's not support them because we are supporting illegal things and illegitimate things. Let's rally behind people who have got a mandate. Thank you so much, Ambassador.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Mwamba na wena kabiri line ya chiputuka.
Okay.
Echo na chilala ndaba Mwamba. Imwe mule twafasa nange chalo kulondolo le fintu efo fili okuba. Kwali ili ashipa weekend na pamande twalelanda ifya kumonwa kushita postmortem mu mubiri wa balungu. Inecho nde milomba ko ba Mwamba. Leteni ama doctors, for example, I want you to invite Dr. Canisius Banda. Dr. Canisius Banda was the spokesperson in the Ministry of Health and is a medical doctor. Bese batulondo lwele procedure for chava nga mwasta sanctioning postmortem. Aba fili basta sanction postmortem ni ba nani? Bushe, lupwa na ngufyo muntu uli onse. Pantofo chimwene fuchile muna kwati umubiri waba Edgar Lungu ulinga troth uli onso omuntu kutashitefe alefwaya tu trefa tuishibe ababa lefwaya kuti bashite postmortem umubiri waba Lungu interest yabo ilishani ichalo cha Zambia tufile twaishiba bushaba abantu are they being sponsored by the Zambian government na Zambian government na yena ifila tupela position pozi iji chintu chikalamba sana tuilaenda fye chalo tuishibenda election efo chili kuli tuasenda pwe chalo itipu na nguishamo so inecho nde milomba ko ba Mwamba ilia programu ilia iya kusala Africa ilia tuisenda ngolo analuseka pali abantu abemine akapi bale focus tefintu fimo pombili wa balungu so ndefwaya ichalo tusambilile kufwe bashaya kusukulu kusambilile fya medical so nde milomba ba Mwamba.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, colleagues, we are 6 minutes away from the close of the program. Do you have any views? Can you call? And before we close, if you have any contributions, this is a time to make your contributions. This is a time to make your contributions. We're discussing the issue of selective justice. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Bakalumba, make your contribution, sir. Thank you.
Now we change our station international radio station. You wale umfavo se chalo chonsi wale umfumulela.
Mkwai.
Bantu bonse wale batale isho no mana baba wakusho. Chakubalira pana nalalanda pali abatansi ba minister. Na mwalole shaguma Facebook twalele mbokwe bati yo kuti abatansi afibaye bakonga nyepo kushashana. Bantu ndemna kwati da trade twaba ko bulino. Cha chibiri ndelanda pali ba Edgar Lungu kumubiri wabo. Amwamba chile pele nsoni. Additional power defvale tulolesha. Bantu lya muntu alikuwa torukwa alikwata n'abana n'abakashi abakwite kwamba kapali yena ichi shupile sana kubuteko sana fechikoserepo sana pokola feti bachitefu balefwa awe ipusha pali postmortem ni bana abafulo kuchitefu lupwa chono we bakoserere po kwa dira bachite postmortem ni cyo balefwaya era bamwamba mu yabati abantu n'abalanda pokwe bati tule chita tule itipu ilafi era wabonza wale chitefu into ifi wale urinawo la generation ilesa especially kubana n'abenshikuru babo panta paka byomuntu kafwaya mwana bali abantu bakalala mune mwibukisho uyu mwana wakwa chiti mwalava bakala yona wira fyabeni ifi bale chitabaleke Zambia is a Christian nation. If twale bana na bishop wero bale musupporta bali landira mule Kenya teke nomba lero bayimuna kuli okutalala alitalala ninkalamu lero atulange fyaba so tulero mbakuma Zambians bonse kintu imini especially kutonse na bonse ba PF na ma oppositions bonse mwe bantu bakwaleza iseni pamo ichikalamba fese chitoefa yakufumya po umuntu lefo kona democracy alipo lero bakulire bwino bali tubika pa place isuma pa ward nomba munene potolera lekeni bachitefa fale fo okuchita but tuikalo kwe but abuse of office omo yaba muifunde Yesu omo yaba tukesa bonfya lili nefunde na tukwata ko bakala pashinga imwe bamwamba mulelemba fyonse tukesa na vet na tukwate shimira ndishi bonse aba ishofet bali chitefa fya musango filia bakesa bakwata umulando wa abuse of office bakabakaka bali noshita ichili profit and sana okwebati wa opposition bekatane tumuno okwebati come 2026 ino again to change your uteko tumene ko bambi basalubula ifwe amwamba na totelele sapali.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We have another caller waiting. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador Mwamba. This is Mwamba from Livingston.
Mr. Mwewa, good evening. Please make your contributions.
The topic that we are discussing today, Anjum Shefing Sana, and we look at our political prisoners, but again, recently, Mwamba, is it last week when we were discussing that issue about Mayor?
Yes, Mayor from Livingston.
Judge, the court had found and established that Umuntu Alice and MP 108,000 kwacha. Corrupt. So, even as I'm talking today, we have actually more office in Livingston office. She's still our mayor in Livingston. Okay. Now, when you talk about Umuntu office mayor, is buying opportunities to all the Livingston residents because people have lost the credibility in the institution, but they have just put that person at the helm of the institution. Now, how much is the institution losing by keeping somebody? Council, I'm members of the public. Abantu atungulura bonse bari shibatari ba corrupt, and that corruption happened in 2026. Now that person has been a mayor from 2021. How much has she denied the institution from the time she has been a mayor? See, those are the people that we are celebrating now in Zambia, unfortunately. For example, you gave a very good example. He was given, I was even in that judgment, he was given 6 months jail sentence for just saying Ututu. So there is a selective way of justice in this system. When you look at the way they treated Archbishop Banda, the way it has been insulted before. And when you look at the language, for example, the language Yarelanda, Cornelius Mweto, Kuchoma Irade, na president, the language, others have gone to jail over that same language. But they are allowed to. If the son to the former president, Dariso, look at the way he has been treated, and look at that other chap who watched 42 million. That other chap is down. Are free? That is so. When even he mentioned to say, even before the father died, he mentioned to say ikatundu abampere ni batata the same na mama iftarungu baisala ndoko abampere ifi barume bandi. But look at what has been happening to them. Today they want to claim and say that we want to give him a dignified burial with full military honors. With this kind of arrogance and the way the family has been treated. No. Mama Zambians, let us not joke about 2026 elections. I want to take up they want to talk about too. Because there's no way very community election here. Bamba ko kuchitako kuwamia ko tuntu mu January. But these guys, this is when they've hit more on power. And they promised the civil servants in 2021 from government salary increment to be 1,500 kwacha. That was the promise they made in 2021. They promised the civil servants that will increase your money by 1,500 kwacha. This is 2026. Be careful of what they promised. So what do we need the Mwamba? The formidable opposition. But now, example, it is in public domain. Behavior of Honorable Brian Mondwiri. When everyone is crying for it, then that's why now, Bambuku ifunya kubantu. But if Bambuku toba structures PF, at the time when the entire population of Zambia is crying for unity, and there is Mr. Mondwiri busy destabilizing unity in the opposition. And look at the consequences that Zambians are going through. So these are some of the things whereby, when you look at the situation that the country is going through, and then you look at the leaders that are surrounding us, and then we are analyzing their teams. How is, for example, with if he was to form a cabinet, what type of cabinet ministers can we have? Avena Davis Miller, Avena Kamba. So we are looking at credibility from Mwamba. Let us come together as opposition. Inkun today. Turedu anaba kutoru pia. If we to choose, turedu anaba kutoru pia. The only money we have is unity. Papa. If we say tukabonfia mpia takuli detu kwanisha na abantu aba. Bali kwa tama mines. Bali kwa barisha gold. Barisha sudrite. Barisha mukula. Watenda. But if we don't unite, bakalashita abantu besu nama voters kazi pa 20 kwacha. Like what happened in the Kasama mayoral by-elections. Bakalashita ma voters kazi 20 kwacha. So every time we need to start sensitizing people so that the entire country can understand what the country is going through. Rural areas, but we have got no time to go and sensitize them because today, Bamwamba, Bamuta Trashika, Balungu Valley Tekrebuno Charo for 7 years. He built 14,000 schools, 135 hospitals, living hospitals, so many roads and infrastructure. Livingston, we've got one of the finest bus stop. The Livingston Intercity bus stop. It's actually, it has got one floor. Those were done by the President Edgar Lungu. When about traffic and Livingston, Mono, Urifa Kashota Kamoka Planga na Malata Punch, Epa and that effort to Wombe. Bamwamba, Abam Dava, Nava Fidua. And how do people know? It is because it has we form one formidable opposition so that we can have one voice. Because then Mwamba plan having because you know stand on the Randra Kavalanda. Ngabanja Kataba Kapokola. No, whatever support of Mundi with Rob. Whatever support of Ruvinda Rob. We are at risk. We need one opposition that not like the way we are living now. It's difficult even for come out. But we must not lose hope. Like if I was doing right, as we go toward 2026, let us tell our leaders to unite as soon as possible.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you very much. Thank you. God bless you. Today we are discussing the case of selective justice. We gave an example of in detail both cases of Raphael Nakachinda and the one for Nixon Chilango and Ronald Chitotela with his accomplices Kalumba Chifumbe, Dave Kaniki, Chabu, and Kunda Chitotela, and we demonstrated how unfair that case was. Hello, caller. You are our last caller. Tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Mwamba.
Good evening.
Allow me to remain anonymous.
Anonymous, make your contributions.
Thank you so much. Mr. Mwamba, also I wanted to contribute concerning especially on this topic, political prisoners. Even last time, I'm sure I also commented about our SG. When you look at the way the man was sent to jail, just because of being vocal becomes a problem. Sometimes we ask questions, how have we come to this extent as a country, as a nation? Sure, we have people who are not even caring for one another. They don't care as long as they are holding to what they want. No, that's not the way it's supposed to be. The other issue, Mr. Mwamba, you are the only person who we are looking up to. I think when we look at you, you are the only person who is bringing these people together. Mr. Mwamba, I think time is not with us. Introduce the person we are going to go with. Bringing the people on your platform who are not willing to unite, it will not help us. It is high time we should advocate for one person. You start bringing this person, let's start setting the person that you are going to go with. I think it is not good to be calling, you call this person the presidential candidate, what and what. No, I think these people, they don't want to unite. That's what we have come to discover. Almost everyone, they have their own selfish interests. So please, we are pleading to you. Give us, show us, speak to them privately, then introduce to us the person we should go with. We are going to follow him. Thank you, Mr. Mwamba. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Today we're discussing the matter of selective justice. Boniface from Chingola has been trying and trying. Boniface, good evening. You are finally our last caller. Make your contributions.
Okutambira vekuri selection ya prisoners na vile chitiko muri chino chalo chesu. Mwamba even imwe bene mwaba mu maseozi. Reason why if mwaenda okuva muri chino chalo chesu tamwaendere mu busuma. Mwaenda mulandu wa kutina bonsabe na jeje banda mulandu wa kutina okwebatinga twaikala muno kuti twalofye emyewo chesu. Tamupusene bala bali muno kyangutira bena bayishire kwata veshamu bwangu bayikatoba wana maseozi ngamwalolesha abantu fe balelanda bachirumbula pa bakuli Livingstone kuli omwana wabamayo babaku
Mwangala Zalome
Mwangala Zalome uko muntu achitevya musango video luchelo 2 days bapilibula ifunde lyaba muri manslaughter tali muri magdawo so mulesa sango ko batopo tule yangalira muchalo chesu aba mwenegira clip y'abakawunda ilyo bale iranda ale muneka kwati bale joking abakawunda bala baneshina bale ilo lichokwe bati kuntanshi bali bakale bale munefya ali chitika bale munane mipashisha abantu bonzo kutira labina tumona pama yandanga na twikala utwaji bati umwana nga namusha akasunga abanangu umwana nga namusha litasunga abanangu
mwaisa muno kwe bati walanda juyu mwana oyo talemoneka bwino teko bati ninjiraba mupato elo abantu babomvye evi bya palati bu dictator na bushanteko baita beshi bati dictator baleshi babomvye evi omulando wakutira chachine chifulo mumupere ale chibomvye okutsa abuse so if le tika muli chino chalo cheso otherwise ile longa mwaisa lo chiko tule utukira putule mwaneka kwatira constitution yesu bali iselamo muri ba government balebomba balebomvye ati ine ndefu ivi ngamwalole shabe ngaba kakiru bambi nabakakirwa vena pamulando wakukana achitarisaini varai vati avo ifota twalesa bota ichi chipani twaisave kulimo vamwe vatiwe kachitaumvwa akakwa avalinga vamalanji vaboma sambo navambi nombanga mucharonga twaikalevi inshoko turi atatuikere bwino chireka viroko twaikala avana avatemwana avashiva kuti atuikale mucharo chesu umuntu ngalanda chichita chiweme aumva tachiweme nawachinja amonokwe vatira chitevi chavantu vananga varefwanya kamwaisa lo chapamulando wayo yakuva unit muchilongano chava opposition bonse twalesho kulanda lero twalalubwira vekumaka yako aleso kutira tusalire ntungulu shinga monekwe vati vivi ntuvalelira ave na Zambia vibwino tetibonse mwingafuayo kuingira pabwendo bunono mwevaliteni mwonse mulefu okuingira pali lekeni uli nokuingira engire abalako ngapo nti uleso mwine achisafofiwa vitelefu yako anomba bonse tuleruisha vyati unaingiro teva chingava na kuchirisha ngapa tufikiri icharo chesu tulefu kuwe ati tukese sto democracy imaba Mwamba mukalela nda muli muno noti ati baba pekeni bajeje bali muno noti ati bapepekeni bachirango bali kunza noti kwekateni balongeni pakutabera landa nishkuloko tuli atukwisa ile longa yo mwachirango kule umfiko kuwe ati vanbo kulapita mokwe bati delimitation there's only doing is panga ma submission icha pangwa kale submission yala pangeshi what is the sense we are expected to go to balaiza mkutu wa vyati tuwaputure vine chapo balapo tuwachira vati abantu baleshindika vya bale ya mkupoka malawa nsisi because na yoni group of kateo ile dida mwindala ndala mashachalo so vyonze vile muneko kwa vati yoko tuweya takuwe mbelelo tuwala shira vya maka ya kualesa na mweni tunguru shumwe walipo kutira tuwombele chapamo lesa turubule nakaireka tupere ntungulushi iya kuisa mukano kumvwa kuma chechezi ya ukano kumvwa kubantu ya kukano kumvwa kuma inji wali yonse ikakwati amatu ya kumvwa kwa ati chiwalanda tachiweme mbombe chintu chisoma na totrava mungozo.
Thank you very much. Thank you, dear callers and dear viewers. We are grateful for your contributions today. We're discussing the case of selective justice and the issue of political prisoners, and we demonstrated the selective approach by the UPND. Thank you for all your callers, for all you callers and your calls. Thank you very much. And so sorry I can't keep on taking so many, but thank you. When we have overwhelming response, it enriches this program. This program is about your cause and your views. So God bless you. We'll see you, I think, tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Liliamu opposition, alandile atia will declare my assets. Lulia twaba votela, nabatumpa no kutumpa elo futi balazanda. When you remind him, he sends the police and they jail you for cyber security. Nako kabunga, he lied that it will cost 50 kwacha. He is a liar. Ati my kids will not work mu government. His son was employed as a soldier. Neshina ya kufoja. Munya uleiwe chalo chesu. Munya uleiwe kateka ize dila ni dila wako. Balashitisha umukuba. Munya uleiwe chalo chesu. Munya uleiwe president ni dila wa gold. Balashitisha umukuba. Kuma coach ni ma tribalist. I'm a judge balia luka amakadas. Opposition you jail, ruling party acquitted even when they are corrupt. Zambia police is an extension of UPND. Parliament speaker is a member of ruling party. What type of justice? Where the president is a judge. Nakoku registrar of society. Kuli Mambala who destroys the opposition. It's a a tribal cowboy. Chalo Jesu munyaolewe kateka ize dila ni dila wago balashitisha umukuba munyaolewe chalo Jesu munyaolewe president ni dila wago balashitisha umukuba. Hey! Kumufumbwe you killed and chased my youths mining your gold wapasa bana bako they mine my foreigner secretly and export gold. Z farmer is free. Yuja muntu bana menya nafa. Electoral commission is a tribal kakon. Only Tongas are immune to cyber charges. Pastor Nevers Mumba is a pompe. Pilato na be flow ni ma pompe. Yo maps na JK ni ma pompe. Laura Miti is a pompe. Apa nomba ni new. Chalo Jesu munya uleiwe kateka is a dealer ni dealer wa gold balashitisha umukuba munya uleiwe chalo Jesu munya uleiwe president ni dealer wa gold balashitisha umukuba. Unza students are praise singers, the vibrant Unza is gone. In civil service you promote on tribal lines. Are you sure, Mr. President, Zambia is better than you found it? Edgar Lungu unga wenze wanzali Petrolienze 12 kwacha Umufundo wali 400 kwacha. Anti-corruption commission is corrupt. Why do courts only jail members and Easterners? You fight the Catholics and call bishops Lucifers up a manje in you.